brands, not just in this country, but truly around the world.
I think everywhere.
David's Cookies has been around since 1970 something. But the way that it all started, as you can glean from the name, is from their cookies. Well, you're going to get the most famous cookie, the David's Chocolate Chunk Cookie. But on top of that, you're also going to get some other choices. And the thing about it is, instead of going to a bakery or going to a store and you have it and it's been there who knows how long, instead of that now, you can fresh bake the cookies. They are going to send you pre-formed cookie dough. It is absolutely one of the smartest things I have personally ever bought. I love each and every time I take 1 or 2 cookies. You know, most of us don't need a dozen cookies or 2 dozen cookies.
Just want a little sweet snack.
I just want a little nice fresh baked cookie. And when you smell it, when it is in the oven baking, I don't care if it's 1 cookie or 5 cookies, it makes no difference. That smell is so incredible. It couldn't be easier than you just, whatever you don't use, you put it right back in the freezer for your next little craving, and there you go. It is absolutely going to make the David's Cookies cookie. That's what's so incredible about it. This isn't close, this isn't quite, this isn't, I think I've got the recipe right. No, 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 this is it. This is the one. So you get to choose which you want, okay? So you can either get, I think you can get 8, and you're getting 8 dozen cookies.
Nearly 5.5 pounds of cookie dough.
It's massive.
It's amazing.
It really is.
And you didn't have to lift a finger.
No. So if you want all of it, you can do all of it in the chocolate chunk.
All of it in the chocolate chunk, the famous chocolate chunk cookie,
and look, this is why it's so famous. I don't even know if I can pick these up because they're so fresh. But look at the chunks of chocolate in there, okay? I mean, it's just crazy. Oh my God, I'm absolutely gonna lick my fingers.
Oh, you should.
I love cookie dough. I know you're not supposed to eat it raw or whatever, but here's the thing. You either choose 8 dozen in the chocolate chunk, or everybody can get 4 dozen in the chocolate chunk, and then you'll either choose if you want it with 4 dozen of the oatmeal raisin. You can also do it with the white chocolate macadamia nut as well. So those 2 combinations available, or like I said, just do the chocolate chunk. Whatever you do, get this cookie dough. It is incredible.
It is incredible. And I love, so David's, we talked about it. David's started in 1979 in that famous department store in New York City. And this is what they sold, the famous chocolate chunk cookie. People would wait in line and pay $1 a cookie for all of these delicious, ooey gooey chocolate chunks. And this is the David's difference. We do not use chocolate chips. We use chunks, and lots of chunks. This is the brown sugar based cookie, but look at that. David's is a cookie dough company, so we make cookie dough. We know cookie dough. We do it to perfection. We do it right. And what we've done is we took all the guesswork out for you, all the measuring out for you. We're gonna send you the perfect, famous David's cookie dough, pre-formed, and it's gonna come to you frozen. So when you arrive it, when it gets to your house, bring it in, stick it in your freezer. It can stay in your freezer for a year, and then you just take out, you just take out what you need. So it comes fresh. These aren't even made for you. When you order, and of course pick your ship date, that's when they'll be made. And you're getting these just iconic, famous cookies. Again, that chocolate chunk, that real chocolate, big chunks, and we're very generous with it. So delicious, the famous cookie, but I gotta move on to the oatmeal raisin. I feel like the oatmeal raisin is almost like, this is my mom's favorite. So I know she's at home sitting, you know, they're thinking, Amy, please bring some oatmeal raisin cookies home. This is like, I feel like the quintessential cookie that you just have to have, that everyone just needs to have. But it's filled, I mean, oodles of plump California raisins in there. We are so generous with it. Again, there's a hint of molasses. We've got, little bit of warm cinnamon in there, and the rolled oats. And you can see all of that when you look in that cookie. You see all of those delicious, whole, real ingredients. That's the David's difference, the oatmeal raisin cookie. It is just by far just one of the most delicious, and I feel like, you know, that's like the quintessential cookie everyone just loves. But of course, the chocolate chunk is the #1 favorite, but you cannot go wrong with this chewy, tender, delicious, those plump raisins. And then I gotta show you the white macadamia nut.
Cinnamon in there is so perfect.
And just like a little kiss of molasses, just for that extra sweetness.
And it changes the texture. Adding that
Yes.
molasses changes the texture.
Yes.
It's delicious.
So then we have our white chocolate macadamia nut. Now this is a golden based cookie, and we've got those crunchy Hawaiian macadamia nuts in there and oodles of creamy white chocolate chips in there. So when you bite into this, I feel like this is springtime at its finest. Like that cookie, it's just that light, you know, that white chocolate, those crunchy macadamia nuts. It's just absolutely delicious. And you see all those in there. You see those macadamia nuts. I mean, people will go crazy over this cookie. But I love it again. David said, how can we give you the best cookie whenever you want it? Even if it's just one cookie. We're gonna preform it. We're gonna do all the work. No shopping, no mixing, no mess, no dishes. Just stick this in your oven, 350 for about 12 to 15 minutes. You will have the perfect cookie every single time.
Every time. And you will have it 96 times, okay? 96 times. You will be baking fresh baked David's cookies. The key to this is the fact that it's fresh baked. It changes everything. I mean, if you've ever been to a bakery, ever been to a store, you buy cookies, you bring them home, they're hard as rocks. They don't have that flavor. They don't have that ooey gooey nature of it. And they don't have the smell that you absolutely, it's such an incredible.
Talking of the smell, Alice, I can smell it from in the back room.
Can you, right?
May I?
Yes, please.
No,
I mean,
and you can speak to fresh baked. I mean, it's fresh baked, right? It changes everything.
And guess what? If you need something to bake it in, I'm going to show you later on.
Yes.
They are fabulous.
Aren't they? And when you bake these too, it's like, I feel like every realtor needs to have this cookie dough. Please take a few more.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
He's coming up next hour, so if you can, stay tuned. I got some special things from Chef Curtis.
But you know, when you bake cookies fresh in your home, and when you bake David's cookies, like the legit cookie dough, your home smells so good. And sorry, I got stopped by the chocolate chunks here. Look at all of those chocolate chunks in our famous chocolate chunk cookie. Just insane. But when you bake these in your home, again, that's all you have to do because they're coming fresh to you. They're not even made yet. And when they come to you, they will come frozen. Stick them right in your freezer. And when you're ready, you just bake them on 350 for 12 to 15 minutes based on how much do you like it, but you get that ooey gooey soft middle, and then you get that nice little crisp on the outside. The perfect cookie every time you want the perfect cookie.
Every single time. 96 cookies. You are getting a ton of cookie dough. And these are full-size cookies you're baking, because frankly, I ordered this one time and they were smaller. It was more like just like little mini cookies. These are going to bake into full-size cookies. So you will get your choice of, I want to immediately get them, which is the right choice, okay? I don't know how you can watch this and not have them delivered immediately. You can do immediate shipment, you can do auto ship, lock in that price of $44.95, and we can also do a future delivery. If you would like it a little bit later in March, we can do that as well, which is your future delivery option. So you're either gonna get all of the chocolate chunk, okay? Either choose it with 8 dozen of the chocolate chunk, or our #1 bestseller right now is 4 dozen of the chocolate chunk, 4 dozen of the oatmeal raisin. And then the other choice is 4 dozen of the chocolate chunk and 4 dozen of your white macadamia, white chocolate chip choice as well. So whatever you choose, just understand the difference between this and every other cookie is this is David's cookies. This isn't close. This isn't, well, I Googled the recipe for it and let me see if I can do it and get it close, you know? This is the real deal. This is what they make and this is their recipe. But when you can take their recipe, it'd be like going into a restaurant and being able to take something home and then fresh bake it in your oven, but a professional chef has prepared it.
Right.
And that's exactly what you're getting here. And when you bake that 1 or 2 cookies or 6 cookies, it doesn't matter. It's going to be fresh baked. It is a completely different experience.
It absolutely is. And you talked about the size too. This is almost a full ounce. This is the signature size that they started with in 1979 in that famous department store that everyone waited in line for. This is that signature size. So it is the perfect full-size cookie. And we just have to look at that white macadamia, white chocolate chip cookie again. I mean, those white chocolate, creamy white chocolate chips, those crunchy Hawaiian macadamia nuts. This, I feel like, is so springtime and delicious. And of course, oatmeal or chocolate chunk, you just can't go wrong.
No, you can't. 8 dozen cookies that you're gonna be able to bake fresh. And I've got these in my freezer right now. Rich has them in his as well, because whenever people come over, I mean, there's just nothing like a fresh baked cookie.
Nothing like it.
Fresh baked David's cookies. I mean, really?
David's, yeah.
It's just different than any other experience. So make sure you go ahead and